What happens when a monster falls? When 300 pounds of pure destruction comes crashing down and the entire wrestling world holds its breath? Bronson Reed just broke his silence, and what he revealed will shake you to your core. This isn't just another injury update. This is the story of a warrior facing the fight of his life, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why his journey back might be the most important comeback story in wrestling today. You can feel it in the air right now. That eerie silence that follows devastation. Bronson Reed, the man who spent months terrorizing the WWE roster, the absolute wrecking ball who made grown men fear the sound of his footsteps, is sitting at home, broken. Not just physically, but you can see it in his eyes. The pain goes deeper than any injury report can describe. Let me take you back to that night. December 27, 2024. Bronson Reed is standing in that ring, adrenaline pumping through his veins, ready to unleash chaos like he's done time and time again. The crowd is electric. They know what's coming. When Bronson Reed steps between those ropes, destruction follows. But on this night, something went horribly, catastrophically wrong. One moment, he's the unstoppable force we've all come to know. The next moment, his foot plants wrong. That sickening sound. You know the one. The sound that makes every wrestler in the back cringe. The sound that makes fans gasp and cover their mouths. Bronson Reed's ankle just gave out beneath him, and in that split second, everything changed. Now picture this, a man who has built his entire career on being indestructible, on being the one who breaks others, suddenly vulnerable. Lying in that ring, clutching his ankle, trying to mask the agony written across his face. The referee immediately throws up the X, medical staff rushes down the ramp. The arena that was roaring just seconds ago falls into this deafening hush. You could hear a pin drop. Fans are standing, hands over their mouths, some already pulling out their phones not to record some viral moment, but out of genuine concern. This is real. This is a human being whose dreams might have just shattered along with his ankle. The diagnosis came swift and brutal: broken ankle. Surgery required. Timeline? 6 to 9 months. For you and me, that sounds like a recovery period. For a professional wrestler in the prime of his career, riding the biggest wave of momentum he's ever experienced, that sounds like a lifetime. That sounds like watching your world crumble while you're powerless to stop it. Think about where Bronson Reed was just weeks before this happened. He was on an absolute tear through WWE. Month after month, he was delivering moments that had the entire wrestling community talking. Those tsunamis from the top rope. One after another. Bodies piling up like he was collecting souls. Seth Rollins? Tsunami. Chad Gable? Tsunami. The man was on a mission, and nothing was going to stop him. Except fate had other plans. But here's what gets me. Here's what really hits different about Bronson Reed's situation. This wasn't supposed to be his story. This man spent years grinding in the independent scene, tearing it up in NXT, proving himself time and time again. Then WWE released him. Just cut him loose. Can you imagine that feeling? Pouring your heart and soul into a dream, only to be told you're not needed anymore? But did Bronson Reed give up? Did he fade away into obscurity? No. He went back to the drawing board. He reinvented himself. He worked harder than ever. He came back to WWE with a chip on his shoulder the size of Australia, his home country, and he made sure everyone knew he was here to stay. He wasn't just returning for a second chance. He was returning to prove that letting him go was the biggest mistake WWE ever made. And he was succeeding. Week after week, he was proving it. The momentum was real. Backstage reports were flowing in about how highly WWE management thought of him. Plans were being made. Big plans. WrestleMania caliber plans. You could feel it building. Every time he stepped through that curtain, every time his music hit, you knew something special was about to happen. The crowd started to feel it too. That anticipation. That electricity. Bronson Reed was becoming must-see TV. And then, in one instant, it all came to a screeching halt. The surgery happened. Successful, they said. But successful surgery doesn't heal the mental wounds. It doesn't fill the void of sitting at home while your brothers and sisters are out there living the dream you fought so hard to reclaim. It doesn't stop the questions that creep into your mind at 3 in the morning. Will I come back the same? Will they still see me the same way? Will this momentum be waiting for me when I return? For weeks, Bronson Reed stayed silent. Radio silence. No social media posts. No interviews. Nothing. And honestly, can you blame him? What do you say when your world just got turned upside down? The wrestling community started speculating. Rumors swirled. Some said he was devastated. Others whispered about how this might derail everything he worked for. But nobody really knew what was going through his mind. Until now. When Bronson Reed finally broke his silence, it wasn't with some generic statement written by a PR team. It wasn't some sterile update about his recovery timeline. What he gave us was raw, honest, emotional. And it reminded everyone why we fell in love with this industry in the first place, because beneath all the storylines and championships and spectacle, these are real people with real dreams and real fears. He talked about the moment it happened, how he knew immediately it was serious, how he tried to finish the match because that's what warriors do, they fight through the pain, they don't quit, but his body wouldn't let him. He talked about the surgery, the first few days of recovery, staring at the ceiling, wondering if he'd ever be the same. He talked about watching WWE programming from his couch, seeing his colleagues out there making magic, and feeling this mix of pride and heartbreak because he wanted to be there so badly. But here's where it gets powerful. Here's the moment that hit me right in the chest. Bronson Reed didn't use his platform to complain. He didn't make excuses. He didn't point fingers or play the victim. Instead, he made a promise. A promise to himself, to his family, to his fans, and to everyone who ever doubted him. He will be back, and he will be better than ever. You can hear the fire in his words, the determination, the refusal to let this setback define him. He talked about using this time not just to heal physically, but to study the game even deeper, to come back smarter, hungrier, more dangerous. He's watching matches differently now, analyzing, learning, preparing for a return that will remind the world exactly who Bronson Reed is. And let me tell you something, if you've been following this journey, if you've been rocking with SLAMZONE and you understand the soul of professional wrestling, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Because when Bronson Reed makes his return, we're going to break down every single moment of it right here on this channel. Hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a second of this comeback story. Drop a comment below and tell me, what match do you want to see when Bronson Reed returns? Who should be the first victim of the tsunami when this monster is unleashed again? Let's build this community together because moments like these are what wrestling is all about. The road ahead for Bronson Reed isn't easy. Rehabilitation is grueling. It's painful. It's lonely. Every single day is a battle against doubt, against frustration, against the voice in your head telling you to just give up. But champions aren't born in the ring. They're forged in these dark moments. They're built in hospital beds and physical therapy sessions and early morning workouts when your body is screaming at you to stop. Bronson Reed is in that fire right now. And everything we've seen from him throughout his career tells us he's going to emerge from it stronger. This is a man who was released, who could have taken that as a sign to hang up his boots, but instead, he came back and became one of the most feared competitors in WWE. This is a man who climbs to the top rope at 300 pounds and launches himself through the air with no regard for his own body, all to create moments that we'll remember forever. So when he says he's coming back better than ever, I believe him. I believe that when Bronson Reed's music hits again, when he walks down that ramp with the crowd losing their minds, when he steps back between those ropes and stands in the center of the ring, his ankle fully healed, his mind sharper, his spirit unbroken, we're going to witness something special. We're going to witness the beginning of a chapter that might be even better than anything we've seen before. The wrestling world is waiting. Championship opportunities are waiting. WrestleMania moments are waiting. And Bronson Reed? He's counting down the days, putting in the work when nobody's watching, preparing for a return that will shake WWE to its foundation. This is more than just a comeback story. This is a testament to the human spirit. This is about refusing to let circumstances define your destiny. This is about looking adversity in the face and saying, not today, not ever. And if that doesn't inspire you, if that doesn't make you want to smash that like button and share this video with every wrestling fan you know, then I don't know what will. Before we wrap this up, I want you to do something for me. Share this video. Share Bronson Reed's story. Let the world know that we're behind him, that the SLAMZONE family supports him every step of this journey. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already because we're going to follow this story all the way to his triumphant return. And when that day comes, when Bronson Reed is back in that ring, we're going to celebrate together. The monster will rise again. The tsunami will crash down on WWE once more. And when it does, just remember, you witnessed the journey from the very beginning, right here on SLAMZONE. Bronson Reed's silence has been broken. His message is clear. The comeback is coming. And it's going to be absolutely legendary.